We have all misunderstood some community, group, or someone at some point in our lives.
There are definitely groups that I've been guilty of misunderstanding.
One group that I very much misunderstood was the gay, homosexual community.
The Asian community.
Liberal people were the worst kinds of people you could imagine ever associating with.
White people. A group I previously stereotyped was the Black community.
Transgender community.
Even though I grew up in the Latino community, I really didn't know anything about them.
I had never met anyone who identified in that way.
I never really knew anything about them.
I'm embarrassed to say that there was a time in my life when I misunderstood them, was wary of them.
I had these preconceived notions, these misunderstandings of who they were.
Formed all kinds of judgments about them.
I thought they were weird.
It's been very easy for me to lump all whiteness together as just this one thing.
I grew up with the rhetoric of Mexicans are lazy.
It's what our parents tell us or what we hear our parents say.
When your parents tell you something, you believe it.
This is very much colored by the views of my parents, my family, the views of the community around me.
Tying that along with what you see in the media, in the movies, like how you see Black people being portrayed. They're usually portrayed as like negative characters.
I always kind of came up in an environment where white people looked at you as inferior. You were less than human. Therefore, I need to stay away from you because your intention is to hurt, is to harm, is to degrade.
What led me to change those ideas was going to college and meeting different people that were Black and of all different races.
My experience really started to shift as I would engage with white students, in my classroom.
A few years ago, I met someone who I identified as transgender.
And at the end of freshman year, one of my suite mates came out to us.
There was this Asian girl that worked with me.
When I attended school and got a little bit older to start forming my opinions, my friends were Mexican.
Being in primarily white spaces where I could actually have these conversations with people.
We talked for hours and I started getting answers and results.
I got to know other, people in the Latino community, and they weren't lazy.
Any stereotypes or misconceptions I had were very much taken away at the time and broken down even for me, and I didn't even realize I had them.
Now I'm very aware of the Asian culture.
I realized I have this total misunderstanding of this community. It's not just a misunderstanding, it's wrong.
In the same way that I don't want to be reduced to an idea or a perception, I can't do that to anyone else.
I'm just really grateful that I got an opportunity to grow and to be in a relationship with all kinds of people.
I think it's not until you meet different people and you really learn what they're like that you step aside from the ideas that you create of these different groups.
It just goes to show why it's so important that we have these conversations and why we push ourselves to go outside our comfort zone.
Having these really beautiful moments where it's kind of like, I see you as a sister. I see you as a brother. Like, I can actually let down all of these misconceptions and all of these ideas and actually just engage with you as a person.
That conversation is what needs to happen.